toxicology is going to be a very important factor in this particular case so that we can get to the truth and find out what the actual cause of death is.
Now, Angeli, the official results of toxicology could take 6 to 8 weeks, but the family of Michael Jackson may not be waiting that long. CNN has confirmed the family did have a second private autopsy performed, and those test results could be returned within a week.
Why a second autopsy?
A second autopsy is done for several reasons, Larry. One, family wants to have somebody they can talk to immediately, spend time with them, explain things, and tell them what's going on, what to expect, and so on. Because the medical examiner is constrained at this point. He is part of an ongoing criminal investigation, and he's just not free to talk about these things. Also, you want to make sure that everything that has been done, it covers the full spectrum, that nothing has been missed. And then you want to have somebody, possibly for an ongoing consultant, to play a role as you proceed in other matters, whether they be civil or criminal. So all of those things come together and provide the basis for a second autopsy.
What could possibly be learned by a second procedure?
If there are no pathological processes, then basically nothing will be learned. The body will yield nothing. This is not a case of gunshot, stab wounds, blunt force trauma. This is a case, presumably, in which several drugs are involved. And the answer to that problem will come from the toxicology laboratory.
The county coroner's office says 4 to 6 weeks for toxicology results. Does it really take that long, or might they truly have some answers here in the next several days?
I believe that insofar as the toxicology tests are concerned, those answers will be forthcoming by the middle of the week at the latest. But they do have other things to do. They have to get all of the medical records and information. They have to get all of the records from the pharmacies. They have to find out who prescribed the drugs and so on. Because remember, this is an overall death investigation. It goes beyond just determining the cause of death and then the manner of death, which I believe is accidental. But they've got to find things that law enforcement is interested in. They've got to make determinations. They've got to correlate all of that clinical information with what they find at autopsy and what they will be obtaining from the toxicology lab. They'll put that together. So that's why they say 4 to 6 weeks, and also to get all of you news media people off their backs for a while so they can breathe. But they don't really need 4 to 6 weeks. They'll have the answers as to the actual cause of death, I believe, within a matter of days.
Sometimes determining how a person dies can depend on the toxicology results. Now, the toxicology is taken at the time of autopsy by either myself or the forensic technician. Now, this is Tom Hemphill. He's one of 7 forensic technicians that we have working at my office. One thing we always take is we try to take blood. We'll check for alcohol. We'll check for glucose. We'll check for drugs, both illicit drugs and prescription drugs. We'll also take eye fluid. Now, have you ever seen anybody faint when we take the eye fluid?
A couple of times. You get some students that come in, some police academy people.
Yeah, they hate it.
You never know how people are going to act until it happens.
Yeah, and they hate when we stick the needle in the white of the eye. They really hate that. So we will take these samples and then send them to the toxicology lab for the result.
And cut.
Contrary to how he was portrayed in the tabloid press, Michael Jackson was a fairly healthy 50-year-old before he died. This revelation comes from a copy of the Los Angeles County Coroner's report obtained by the Associated Press. It shows that the pop singer was 136 pounds when he died. It's in the acceptable range for a 5'9" man. His heart was strong, his kidneys and other major organs appeared to be normal. Jackson had some health issues, including arthritis and inflamed lungs. The pathologists found punctures on his arms. There was no sign of alcohol or illegal drugs in his system.
Absolutely. You know, again, he had some mild
degenerative changes, which means that he's 50, all of us at the age of 50, you have some wear and tear on your body, especially with what he did.
Anesthesiologist Dr. Zeev Kane reviewed the report for us. The report confirms Jackson died from an overdose of the drug propofol because it was administered in a non-hospital setting without any appropriate medical need.
Certainly stopping breathing is a complication of propofol, but it's an expected complication. Every time you give propofol, you should expect the patient to stop breathing, and that's why the only people who should administer propofol are people who are capable, such as anesthesiologists, to assist in the ventilation of the patient and resuscitate him. If you give propofol, that's what you need to do.
That fact casts even more doubt on Dr. Conrad Murray, Jackson's personal physician. Murray was at Jackson's rented mansion on June 25th when the pop singer died. Murray has told investigators he gave Jackson a dose of the anesthetic to help him sleep.
A couple of Conrad Murray's defenses appear to be disappearing rapidly.
Law professor and former journalist Stanley Goldman covered Michael Jackson's legal troubles.
One possible defense was that Jackson was ill from some disease the doctor didn't know about or couldn't have known about, or that Jackson was secretly taking medication that the doctor didn't know about, and those interacted with medication that was given by the doctor, and therefore it really wasn't his fault.
Murray's attorney has not responded to our requests for comment. The doctor maintains offices in Las Vegas and Houston. John Moe, The Associated Press, Los Angeles.
You have to be in good shape. You cannot be frail and do those movements.
Days before his death, shown here in video from AEG Live, Michael Jackson rehearsed for what was supposed to be a series of 50 concerts. Many were skeptical Jackson would be able to keep up given his physical appearance. But according to an autopsy report obtained by the Associated Press, Michael Jackson was healthy.
He didn't have much of a risk factor, such as was not a diabetic, he was not obese. Probably with his weight, his cholesterol was okay.
And his weight, 136 pounds, an acceptable range for a 5'9" man.
So you have a good body mass index, you're not obese, you don't have a lot of fat in your body, so that's a good sign.
The report also indicates Jackson's heart was strong. Dr. Mirdad Aryani shows us a healthy heart versus a heart with clogged arteries.
If you do have a lot of plaques and obstructions, it will be very, very unlikely for you to be able to be agile.
Despite skin disease, arthritis, and damaged lungs, Jackson's health issues were reportedly not life-threatening. And that could present a difficult case for Dr. Conrad Murray, the man reportedly responsible for giving Jackson the anesthetic propofol hours before he died.
Such drug can stop your breathing. When you stop breathing, oxygen saturation will come down, and that might affect the brain, might affect the heart, and the heart can stop.
You did Mickey Rourke, Chuck Norris.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, the most noticeable, Michael Jackson. How did you get to meet him?
Michael, I met him 20 years ago at a private party. One of his doctors put on a party, and we just hit it off because both of us had great passion. I admired his passion for music, he admired my passion for fitness, and he felt safe with me, so I trained him. And I've been training him on and off for 20 years, and he was a great guy because we had get to be good friends outside of Lou and Michael Jackson, just like the two of us.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a strange combination when you think of it, Michael Jackson and Lou Ferrigno. But what was the click between the two of you?
We both had passion. Passion for, because we came from strong fathers. Yeah. We both had a difficult childhood, so we shared that. Like Michael loved toys, I like my own toys. And we shared our fantasies together about life because he was a smart businessman. So we collaborated a lot on different issues.
Lou Ferrigno stond Michael Jackson ook bij in de aanloop naar de This Is It concerten. And then towards the end, you trained him again.
Yes, I had to train him at his house. Because of the fact that he had his kids and the paparazzis. I went to his house. And he was making a great comeback. He was in great shape.
He really was?
Yeah.
Yeah?
He was a little thinner, maybe a few pounds, but he was in great shape. He was so fired up. I haven't seen Michael so fired up like this for many years. I mean, the guy's ready, but he was under a lot of stress.
Did he have a healthy lifestyle?
Yeah, he seemed good to me. I know that there was a lot of rumors about what he was doing with the doctors, which I don't know. But at the time he was with me, he never showed any sign of drug use or anything like that. He was always like animated.
But did he eat enough, for instance?
Only once a day.
Once a day?
Yeah, more like a vegetarian, only one meal a day. He did not want to eat, and he had trouble sleeping. So, but that was his way of eating. He wanted to stay lean and thin. He wants his weight every day.
That's not very healthy.
No.
No.
But he looked good.